I was just saying.
I don't care about your opinion.
I'll tell you what I think.
What's that you're saying?
Would you just listen?
I don't think so.
Remember, ladies, one must not get one's knickers in a twist.
Please listen.
I'm trying to help you.
Listen.
I don't think so.
Excuse me.
I don't care.
Hey! Listen. Shut up and listen.
Should we put the microphones near us?
Yeah, that might be good.
This is how I like to do a podcast.
Okay, that works. That works well.
White jeans.
And I'm glad for this because it keeps the hair out of my face.
Are the cameras running? That's the question.
No, they're not.
It's
You're
been
such a
a
fame whore.
Very long time. So this is, I'll talk about it when I'm on camera.
Let's just sit here and stare at each other until they
Go.
say go.
I'm a little tired, but now I'm all woken up from that Charles Shaw disaster. Do you wear a watch?
I don't.
Very smart.
I don't wear a watch because really, what is time?
Okay. I'm really beginning to hate you. What is time? I don't know. Did you show up on time to, let's see, this is, I like how they've soundproofed the room. Is this running?
You're my first guest.
Ever?
No, you're my first guest for
The evening?
for the relaunch of this podcast.
What, how long has it been off the air?
And what's time?
Oh, jeez. Is there a small hatchet or axe I can break up this desk with? Oh, do you want me to? Here we go. It's white balance. And then this is the Heather Matarazzo
Exactly.
relaunch podcast, take 1. Thank you. What's Kayla? How do you say the name?
Kalon.
Kaylon. All right.
Those look like real comfy shoes.
I've had them for years, but I'm not trying to say that as like, I only have a couple pairs of shoes. I have a lot. Way too many, and it's a problem. But these ones are really good. See, well, I can move my feet out of the way.
No, just I want you to just be who you are.
Oh. This is...
Making his head hurt, his soul hurt.
Do you eat steaks?
I do.
All right.
Listen.
What part of Italy is your family from?
Well, I'm by birth Irish, 100%. I was
Dear God.
adopted
Oh.
into an Italian family when I was 5.
That's what we're going to talk about. You know, it's funny because you have dark hair, so people
Dark
go like,
Irish.
oh, she must be from Northern Ireland. Her influence, and probably some Northern European got in there, but no.
Yeah.
So you were 100% Irish.
Yeah.
Are you from Ireland?
No, I'm not. My birth dad was from Ireland, and my birth mom's parents.
Have you ever met those folks?
I met my birth dad, and I met my birth mom, and ironically enough, today is the anniversary of her death.
Oh my gosh! Wow. How long ago did she die?
She died in 2007.
Of what?
Her heart exploded.
Okay. From not due to from a heart attack and not a diving accident.
No, heart attack, and they didn't find her body for like 5 days. It was a thing.
When you became famous, did they?
No,
They didn't know it
No.
was you.
no. I mean, it's a whole big hubbubaloo. It's a whole
it's
big
so
thing.
much more interesting than my life.
Well,
So
but here's the thing. I will be the judge of that, as will my listeners.
I guarantee you
Listen,
win. You
this
win.
is-
It's fine.
This
But
is
let's see your wedding ring. It's beautiful. You've been married for 2 years?
no. I got married in November. Brand
Holy
new.
crap. You guys gonna have a kid?
No,
No way.
definitely not.
We're gonna save a lot of money. But the thing with kids, that is the secret. They don't take up any extra time. They do not change your life at all.
Well,
A lot of people think, oh, you're completely affected and
Yeah.
you have to have responsibilities. No,
Yeah.
no.
no. I would just put them in the closet like my birth mom put me.
Oh, I just threw mine into a soccer field and go like, just learn this.
Yeah, there you go.
Be great at it.
Yeah.
You'll see.
And if you don't, you get kicked out.
Here's some juice boxes. Just get going.
Do they still do oranges at those soccer games?
Well, my boys aren't into soccer. One of them's way into football. And yes, there are oranges, but it's California. So it's blood oranges. And I think we've already been going.
All right.
It's so... Let me just
Are you
say this,
ready?
because I am not... Oh, go ahead.
No, go.
Yeah, welcome to Heather Matarazzo's Relaunch of a Podcast.
All right, we good? All right, let's just go. Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Heather,
Well,
before we get started,
yeah,
it's great to see you.
I received that.
It's been a long time.
It has. It's 2016.
Jeez. I didn't know anything. I mean, I knew who you were, but I didn't realize you were going to be so nice. And then that was pleasantly surprising. And then, of course, Jillian Arminante was like, you have no, dude, she's the greatest. And then it was all true. I didn't want to start this off like this to be ass kissing, but once in a while I will.
I received that and I say thank you. And the truth is that I did not know about you.
And you're like, dickhead coming in on set.
Exactly.
Alert.
Exactly. And I still feel that same way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Half true.
And you know, like, yeah, we're already in this fucking mess. To everyone who's listening, hi, we're back. The show's back. Shut up and listen with me, Heather Matarazzo. And I'm with Joel McHale. Joel McHale.
Yeah,
who
that's my middle name is Joel. And first name, Joel.
Joel. What is your middle name?
Edward.
Joel Edward McHale.
Named for my uncle.
Uncle on your mom's side or dad's side?
Dad's side. Ironically, not ironically, but my wife's grandfather's name is Edward. And then we named our firstborn Eddie. Well, Edward, but if you say, like when we're in the TSA line, if the person goes, Edward, he won't respond. He was like, my name is Eddie.
But what about if he ever gets in trouble?
No, we don't do that at all.
You don't do that at all?
We just resort to, hey, you.
And that's why I won't have children. Just for that simple thing alone.
That's it.
Just
that's
I mean, but
what if you just happen to be, I don't know, bathing in a river, and a baby comes floating down on a small, some reeds that have been woven.
Like the unsinkable Molly Brown?
Yeah, exactly.
Or Moses?
I don't know what you're referring, but one of those. I think it's the Molly Brown one. So will you grab that baby and raise the baby?
Yes, but I will never claim it as my own.
Right. But when like that baby's 13 and the baby, I don't know, sets a couch on fire, are you going to go, Moses Molly Brown?
I'll say, I don't know. I don't know her. I don't know. I don't know her.
Okay. You'll say that to your child.
I don't know who you are.
And then what if your child goes, categorically not true, Mom? You know me. You knew me seconds ago when you fed me.
Well, here's something, it genuinely, you know, because obviously I take this podcast very seriously. So I did some research.
Oh, you looked on my Wikipedia page?
I not only did that.
I played football, grew up in Seattle. And
yeah. But if you don't mind sharing, because we are on the subject of kids, and this is one of the reasons
we're getting real, guys.
We're getting very
right
real
now.
But I think of somebody like Rob Delaney, you know, that lost his son.
Yeah.
And he's been very open about his grief and about his experience. And I'd read that one of your sons had been born with a hole in his heart.
2 holes.
2 holes.
Yes.
And so how did you meet that as a father? Like I don't know that I could be any more neurotic than I already am, in the sense of my dogs. I'm like, leave it. Don't sniff that.
You turn into Popeye?
Pretty much.
Arr, Leave it.
Leave it. Leave it,
Okay.
I say. Leave it be.
What do you mean by, what are you saying, leave it?
Well, okay, I don't want to get fucking lost and
I
go
want to get
down
lost
this rabbit
'cause
hole.
the example you used was leave it.
Well,
Leave it.
so my dog Nanea, Nea.
I did not ask for the pronunciation of Nea. But go ahead, continue, please. Nea, the dog, right?
Oh my fucking God, my face hurts. So if she's sniffing and she,
Oh, okay. And
And
you
she
want her to
comes-
stop sniffing.
or if she comes across something like a dead animal,
Yeah. It happens all the time. And
leave it. Leave it.
you clearly live in Valley Village.
No, I mean, here's the
I'm
truth.
joking. I'm just
I
making a
know.
horrible joke about
I-
Valley Village. You live in the hills, obviously. No?
No.
West Covina? Now I'm
Oh.
just going to keep moving
Oh,
out
honey. Oh no, I live
east.
in WeHo.
Oh, okay. So you live in a beautiful place. How many dead animals are just lying on the sidewalks of WeHo?
Oh, you'd be surprised.
WeHo has so much money. I just figured there's a dead animal cleanup crew each
dude.
night.
Oh no. It's having to walk in between dog feces and human feces, depending on the day.
Oh, you got to move to Studio City.
I mean, I just need to be able to afford to buy a house somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, well, good luck in Southern California. But let's get back to my sons.
No, but yes.
So you're saying that how do you handle something like that? And you
How
feel,
did you handle that? Because I don't know. I feel like I would be so afraid every single second of every single day that my child would run through a plate glass window or.
Well, you could have the same fear
Mhm.
without the open heart surgery that there would be plate glass windows being shattered by children. The analogy of when you have a child, it's like God takes your heart and puts it into the new person and goes, "That's your heart wandering around now."
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh no.
you don't feel like
No.
Nakante the dog is full of your heart.
No, I don't think that Nebuchadnezzar is like that at all.
You're a big Matrix fan. I see. Me too. I love that ship. Morpheus. No, so here's now it's when something like, from what I learned from this experience, is that it didn't, much like a natural disaster or a war comes to your doorstep, you don't think about neuroses and hangups and stuff like that, at least in my department and definitely in my wife's department or lives, they kind of become muted because you go, what is the task at hand? The task at hand is save baby life. And so you stop thinking about those things and then you go, oh my gosh, all the things we used to think about, not that important. And so then you go, so it's strangely a temporary cure because unless you're a total maniac and you're like, oh, I can't handle this, I'm out of here, ping. And but so obviously when you get that news, it is shocking
Yeah.
and terrible.
Yeah.
And you go, what are we going to do? And then thankfully, we live in an amazing city that has a wonderful hospital and we have resources and insurance.
Yeah.
And we live in 21st century America where if you have insurance, you will have access to good health care. And I say that very with an asterisk because there's so many people that don't have access.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we ended up having this Dr. Starnes, who's an amazing surgeon. And he performed once Eddie, Isaac is the younger one. Once his chest was cracked open, the whole surgery took less than 15 minutes. And then we knew that the surgery was completed because we were sitting in the lunchroom waiting for the news. And I think my mom was like, I wonder how it went. And I was like, I think it must have gone well because the surgeon is over there having a sandwich and he was already done. And so we were very, very fortunate and that that's what this surgeon is also known for, is being very fast. And so we are very lucky in that my son's heart defect was 2 holes, which are kind of the simplest of heart things to fix.
Yeah.
Believe me, this surgery took 12 hours in 1952 or whatever. There's a really good movie called Something the Lord Made with Mos Def and Alan Rickman, which is about the pioneers of heart surgery, who were the first people to stop hearts to fix them. So that said, it was a success. We were so lucky, and that it was these 2 holes. Now, if you get into veins and valves, it gets real touch and go. And you have multiple surgeries, and your life is affected. And the baby that Dr. Starnes worked on right after ours had a valve that was disintegrated, and they tried to put a new valve in. It didn't work. And that baby passed away very, very, very sadly, and was older than Isaac. Eddie was 2 months, and this baby was 4 months. So you have that sort of thing where you go, I cannot believe what we're going through, and we are coming out of this tunnel, and this family's just going into it further, and it's terribly rough and sad. And so we couldn't, you walk out going like, oh my gosh, we were on the recovery floor, and you see all the other kids there, and parents would walk in and go, oh, we wish we had 2 holes in the heart, because our kid had a heart transplant. And we go, oh my gosh. And so other people have it worse in this, and you have to count your lucky stars for where you are. And then there's other people that complain about, you realize that people complain about the dumbest things. But so that being said, yes, it was a rough time. We came through it with good news with that surgery. But our friends, the Towns, they lost their son at 3 years old to cancer. And, those things, you can't, we weren't even part of that family, but we're still think about it quite often. And so, boy, I've really gone down a rabbit hole. But so that said, you definitely should have kids. See how I wrap that whole thing up?
Well, you have convinced me.
See?
And I say thank you.
Yeah, the fact that you are aware of your neuroses, it means you'd probably be a great parent. As opposed to the people, it's way worse if they're unaware. I guess it's worse if you're aware but don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
But it's like someone going like, look, I know I'm racist. I just don't like, and you're like, yeah, it's way worse that it's way worse. Anyway, Eddie is now 14, and he outweighs my wife by a good 30 pounds now.
Wow.
Yeah, my wife's petite, and Eddie's going to be my size.
Wow.
There you go. See, we started off intense.
Wait, this is that kind of show.
Great. What do you want to talk about now?
Well, I do want to...
The playoffs? The NBA playoffs?
No.
The real question is, did Portland finally get past OKC? That's what I want to know.
I am not really into basketball.
What's your sport?
Classically, it was baseball. I used to go with my dad to see the Yankees play when Don Mattingly was playing on first.
So you grew up in Baltimore? I like how you're going. Can you tell me if OKC or Portland won? He's like, oh. He's got a computer screen in front of him. Okay, so you love the Yankees. And you grew up in the Bronx.
I grew up out on Long Island. And my dad he worked for Intiman. So he had
the pastry company?
Yeah.
And you grew up in Long Island. So Montauk?
No, Oyster
That's just
Bay.
what I assume. I just assume if you say Long Island, it's either Brooklyn or Montauk.
Yeah, no. Neither of those places, though they're both lovely, respectively.
Very similar.
Very, very, very similar. They both have lighthouses.
Mm-hmm.
They're both the end of something.
Of an island.
Yes.
Yeah. They both have Jamba juices all over the place. Okay.
Okay.
So when did you meet your spouse?
During Stuck, the movie that you and I were in
You're
together.
kidding.
That's coming out on May 20th.
It is?
Yes.
All right. I haven't seen it.
Well, you're excellent.
My huge thing.
You're huge.
One.
You open the movie and you close it.
See, this is great. I'm so glad you said that. Is Jillian ever going to listen to this?
I don't know.
All right.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah, it comes out May 20th.
This wine is way better than your wine.
Listen, I advocate for $2 Chuck.
How many of these do you do a year?
I'm telling you, you are. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm going to give you a gift. I will
Okay.
sponsor this for wine.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
You tell me when it is. I will have someone bring you wine for the thing.
I received
Now, it's
that.
not going to be like 36 bottles a show,
Yeah, no.
but it'll be
no.
enough to do an entire show with.
Okay, perfect.
Generously. And you can probably give a bottle away.
Okay. Thank you.
$2 Chuck. It's fine. Yes, it's fine. My parents would be like, we're fine with $2 Chuck. And then I open up a wine. They're like, do you mind if we have some of yours? Oh, what about your swill?
See, but that's the thing. I'm not a wine connoisseur. I never have been.
Okay. What's your drink?
It depends on the day.
Tuesday.
Summertime, it would be margarita rocks with salt.
All right. It's January in Montauk. Mulled wine.
Hot toddy.
Mead. Hot toddy.
A hot toddy.
Okay. So you met her on Stuck.
Yes, I met her on Stuck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's one of the fucking producers and co-writers and co-stars of the film.
Who made the first move?
I'm going to keep that to myself.
Is this some sort of power game that you guys are still playing?
No.
Where you're like, no, you absolutely did it. No, you.
Well, I'm sure that you can understand that I'm very open and honest about my life and all of that stuff. But there are
God bless.
some of those things that you desire to keep private. You know, considering that the industry that we're in, and not only that, just the time that we're in, where everything is common knowledge.
Yeah.
So getting to have the sacredness of that relationship and getting to be very conscious as to what you share and what you don't share.
And for the first person that was like, hey, what's going on? You don't want to share that.
No, I don't.
I think that's very smart. And now I shall share more stories about my son having heart surgery.
No, but you and I, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but were you on one of the planes September 11th, 2001 were supposed to be? Did you have a 9/11 story?
No,
You didn't.
I did not.
Okay.
Where did you hear that?
I don't know.
That was Seth MacFarlane.
No, I'm definitely not confusing you and Seth MacFarlane. That is for sure.
We have the same amount of money. Wait a minute.
But his show wasn't
Let me
canceled.
check. You're right. All the shows are going very well for him. But I would like to top that with which show of mine was canceled.
So what was that like? What was your experience with Netflix and the Joe McHale show?
Oh, they were great.
Are you contractually obligated to say that?
I have no contract. I can say what I want. It was really great up until the point they were like, yeah, we're not going to do it. Because we did like half a second season. I don't know what they counted as. We did 18 episodes and then that was that. But they said they were very positive right up until the end.
They seem to do that quite a bit. Like One Day at a Time was another show that they had that had very clear fandom that were like, Netflix, don't take this off. What are you doing? And they're like, sorry, we're doing it.
Yeah, I have no idea what the algorithm or the which chart or graph we did not meet the thing on. I like to think, they do not have weekly shows, or they have a Hassan show.
Yeah.
So I hope that's going well. But for at least last year, I think you need to let those shows breathe and have time to get known.
Absolutely.
But they're the king of the world, so they're a freight train that's not going to be stopped. And so I don't know if we kind of figured into their model.
Yeah.
Believe me, I wish we had. That would have been really fun, but it wasn't to be. They were incredibly nice. They were way nicer about it than most places I've been.
Yeah.
They called. A lot of people called. So I was like, well, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I feel like this was a very nice way to be let down. But doing a weekly show there, they are not used to topical shows. And I don't know if they're still going to be in that business. I mean, clearly they're in business with Hassan's, and maybe he's making it work great, and it's a great show. So who knows? See what I did there?
I see what you did there. But you also now are going to be hosting a game show?
Yeah. On ABC, yes. The American Broadcasting Company. Yeah, so it's that group of shows with that Alec Baldwin hosts one, and then Anthony Anderson, and they're bringing this old show back from the 70s. And believe me, I didn't think I was going to do it, and then I know the production company, and I had a ton of fun on Alec and Anthony's show. So I'm like, hey, I'd like to buy a yacht. And I'm kidding. It's a small boat. But yeah, it's fun. It's called Card Sharks. And it's, so I turn over cards, or I help turn over cards and make people a lot of money. And then I'll make some money and I get a free suit out of it.
Yeah.
But they're very good. It's the Fremantle people, so they're very nice.
Okay. And I have to share something with you.
Oh,
and
do you want to be on the show?
Sure. I would love that.
Oh, all right.
Sure.
That would be so great. I think it would be a violation of the game show kind of laws. If I'm like, and here's my friend, Heather.
Yeah. I mean, unless I did a celebrity edition, who knows?
You know what? But then it would be for charity and it wouldn't be for you.
Well, I can consider myself a charity.
What show are you coming up on?
But
you wanted to ask me a question.
No, I didn't want to ask you a question. I wanted to share something, which was when I had gone to the premiere of that film that you were in, like, fuck
Assassination
me.
Nation?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, very similar to a game show.
It's
right up there with Card Sharks. Same outfits, same vibe. Live studio audience.
Well,
it's fun, huh?
It's
a fun family film.
Ooh, I mean, I've got to say, I'm very rarely surprised by a performance.
Oh,
and your performance was so surprising to me, and not only surprising,
really bad acting on my part. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Which is why I'm bringing it up, because this is just the make Joel McHale uncomfortable hour.
I like it.
Yeah. I know.
It's like exactly what you'd expect me to do in a movie. It's very similar to Community.
It was, but seriously, your performance was incredible.
Oh, thank you. Jeez.
Like
That's a huge compliment coming from you.
I received that. Thanks.
You know what you're doing, yeah.
It was an incredible performance, and it leaves me wanting more.
Oh, well, my guy was no fun. I mean, he was not a nice man.
No, he wasn't a nice man.
And he got what he was, got what he was coming to him.
But there's, you were so nuanced in your performance, and you were so quiet with and that's what made it so uncomfortable and fascinating to watch.
It was really comfortable when I brought my wife to the premiere.
What did your wife say?
Thank God I have the coolest wife on the planet.
Yeah.
Where I told her about the scene. I'm not going to ruin it for you guys at home or in your cars or running.
Yeah.
But she was like, well, if you think it's, worth it, or, if is that something you want to do and think it's, and I was like, yeah, I do. I think it's going to be, so thank God she's super cool. And she ultimately was like, hey, it was great. But, that the one part where she didn't buy was, there's a scene part, guys, I'm looking in the camera, but where I am trying to get through a door, and I could easily have kicked that door down, but for movie purposes and for the limited budget we had.
Yeah.
But she was like, you could have kicked that door down. I'm like, it's a movie. So, yeah, she was very cool. Her friend Cheryl, Cheryl Choi, she's a very nice woman. They've known each other since grammar school. Sarah brought her, and I was like, oh, she's going to hate this movie. This is going to be rough. And then she was like, I really like the movie. But then my brother-in-law, Richard, and his wife, they turned it off after the first 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
They were like, we're not watching this movie.
Yeah, I didn't. You were the only thing I liked in that film.
What? You didn't like any?
Here's the truth.
Okay,
right?
wow.
I understand what the filmmaker was trying to do, what I don't agree with, and what I actively dislike is the use and symbolism of something like a noose being put over the head of the character that is part of the LGBTQ community. And it's as filmmakers, as storytellers, I think that there's an innate responsibility for recognizing that you have a platform, people listen, people see, and why are you going to use something like a cheap emotional plot in order to get people to feel? Be more creative. Don't just be shocking for the sake of being shocking.
And that's how, in that scene, you're like, this is...
Yeah, it just was ridiculous and it made no sense to me. And I thought it was irresponsible and I thought it was gross.
Even though, obviously, the outcome was...
Yeah, but still there's like writers who use rape as like a plot point, writers who try to use some kind of like perilous situation where then the hero or Shiro at the last second ends up getting to have ba 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 ba.
Right.
But what point does it serve? What was it didn't serve the larger context of the story at all.
So you hung in there for the whole thing?
Of course I did. I was at the fucking premiere at the ArcLight, where I also got that red pleather jacket.
You got the jacket?
Yeah.
I didn't have one they didn't give me one that fit.
They didn't?
No.
I'm sorry.
Well, all right. Well, this is...
That's the, I mean, you were the best part of that film for me.
You're a very nice person. I think, but I was surprised that the movie didn't do as well as I thought it was going to do better, but that's a whole other topic. That's a whole other separate.
That's the thing, though. You can never tell, right?
You can never
You
tell.
can never fucking tell with something that you do. It's like, this is going to be trash. And you're like, this is actually pretty good. Or this is going to be great. And crickets.
Yeah, no, I remember when you splashed on the scene.
Yeah.
With Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Yeah. Such a piece of trash.
How
sorry.
dare you?
I know. I'm sorry.
No, and I remember people seeing that movie, and I was like, oh, that's how stars get born. Damn it. And that's why I was in a lot of commercials for Burger King. It launched my career.
Did it really?
It got me a couple meetings.
Yeah.
My Burger King ads. I couldn't get an agent then. Literally had no agent.
I mean, I have no agent now.
What? That's because you dropped them.
No, I haven't. No, that's not true. I did drop my... Yeah, I did drop my agent. I was like, were they? Yeah, they were an agent. Um, but speaking of dropping agents, you're a writer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have to drop your agent?
I was waiting for the WGA to come to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no one called me. Maybe they'll call me after this, but after all my friends who are writers, and they were like, so do they come to you? I'm like, haven't heard a thing yet. And I guess because I haven't written anything in a long time. They're like, ugh, that guy, he's been on those canceled shows. I don't think so.
Do you like to write?
No.
No. Why?
It's like pulling. No, I don't. I've never sat down. I mean, I've been a writer. I can sit, if I'm in a pressure situation before I go up on stage or something, I can write a lot of jokes. That's when it really, out of fear, terror, really.
Yeah.
But I am not someone that can sit down and just write. I will find 1,000 things to distract me. And even if there was no phones or computers or televisions or children.
There's masturbation.
Yeah, there's also dogs.
Yes.
I have 3 dogs who masturbate. One of them does. Absolutely, which I can show you a video. And then I said to my wife, I was like, do you think if I posted this on Instagram, it would be taken down? She was like, perhaps. But I am not that. I am not that like that. I can tell when I read a script, I can tell you if I think it's good or bad.
Yes, absolutely.
And then I can make suggestions, but I am definitely not someone that will go, let me tell you what's going on with your script. That's why I can't stand most executives that tell people who are writers for a living when they have suggestions. When I'm like, if you can write it better than that, then go ahead. Then you do it. But as it is, it's not going to work that way. Anyway, no one's come to me. So I guess if they do after this podcast, then I'll have to drop my writing agent. But
okay.
I swear it's not some sort of protest against the packaging of what agents do. But it was just because I was like, oh yeah, I guess, is that going to happen? I have no idea. You're a writer.
I am, but I'm not part of the WGA, and I don't have a writing agent.
I can get you one. You want a meeting? Really nice guy.
I received that, and let's talk after this is over.
Okay.
But
why aren't we doing a show where we play like Irish brother and sister
we could very well
who live in
Ireland,
Calgary, Canada? Because then we wouldn't have to work on the Irish accents. We would just have to couple nuances with the way we talk.
Or it could be about a brother and sister who were, let's say, adopted together to some random family, and then they find their birth parents and have to travel to Ireland to meet them. And
yeah, and everyone in Ireland, when you're walking around going like, I'm an American, I have Irish roots, they go like, ugh, another one.
I'm grateful that I had a very different experience when I went to Ireland. I went a year ago in May to meet my birth dad's widow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and the rest of my birth family, the extended family.
How did that go?
I mean, I'm here. I didn't kill myself.
Did they all look like you?
My birth dad's sister, Josie, looked surprisingly like me. I mean,
and do they know that you're in entertainment? They must.
They do now. Yeah.
You say it like you had to tell them.
I mean, it's such a strange thing, right? That I'm grateful that aside from, there were some uncomfortable instances when I first met my birth dad and his extended family. Because, and these are the Americans, who, one of them, I was going to meet my birth dad's sister who lives up in the Bronx, and my birth cousin had picked me up, and he brought his daughter. He was like, first thing he said, we've never met. I thought my birth dad was dead until I found out that he wasn't. It's a whole big fucking thing.
Right.
And he said to her, look, it's Lily from the Princess Diaries. Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is gonna be fun. Let's go. And but when I went to Ireland, it that shit didn't come up because it was
Because Princess Diaries has been off because it's been a few years.
yeah, and it's like, what else you got, kid? What you doing now?
You on that Good Place show? I like that show. That's my Irish accent. It's a little not well placed.
No, but it was interesting to say the least. But I want to get back to the writing in this sense because Dan Harmon, who I've never met in my
You
life,
should definitely have him on this.
really? Do you think he'd do it?
I can text him.
Okay, that would be lovely because we would literally just write circles and circles and circles.
Yeah, no, Dan's pretty great.
He seems like somebody that I would get along with.
I bet you definitely would. Yeah.
Okay.
No, as we talk about Community, obviously, yes. No, when I read that Community pilot, it was one of those pilots where like I was not in the place where I was choosing pilots too much in my life, but but at the time, Dan's girlfriend at that time, he's with someone else now who's lovely. But this is now 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And she was the one that recommended me. So I was not on Dan's radar, but I was on her radar. But I read that script and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best pilot I've ever read. And it was one of those ones where you know how it goes, where you go, well, I'm going to try. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'll try it. I want it to work. You never know. Maybe it will. But this one was like, I want this so badly. I know I can play this person. And the writing was so good. And then, we had quite a crazy time with lots of crazy turns. But the whole time, every time we get a script, it was like Christmas morning. It was opening a gift where I'm like, fuck, this is so great. And I felt so, and the cast and I would sometimes talk and we're like, we'll never be so lucky to be on something this good. If you get on something this good, I mean, well, Donald, his career's gone down the drain, as we know. But it was like it was a little piece. I count myself. I'll look back on that when I'm, on my deathbed when I'm 59. I have a lot of plans, and then go. That's a thing that I did that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, were you his circle? The way that the circle, the way that he chooses to write and break things down is fascinating to me. And I'll tell you what, if you were to look at my computer, I literally have his circle on my desktop. And when I write, I use it.
Yeah.
I use the circle for everything. I really.
You sound like you're on True Detective right now. You
I
sound
use
like
the
you're Matthew
circle for
McConaughey.
everything. I use it for everything.
Life is a circle.
Life is a circle. I can't do it. I don't. My voice isn't deep enough.
Oh, those moments. I mean, if you had said to Matthew McConaughey, I was like, okay, when you're sitting in this in these scenes in the police station and you're doing your Matthew McConaughey thing, did you think that Lincoln, the car company, would come to you and be like, yeah, just talk like that, and then we'll show you driving in a tuxedo without a bow tie, and then we'll show you looking out over Los Angeles, like on the edge of a pool, and you'll say a bunch of random stuff, and then, here's like $5 million.
That is sweet as fuck. Though I would rather see him playing as bongos.
We never saw footage of that. Did we?
Him playing naked?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, because the neighbors had called the cops on him.
Yeah, but was there a camera on it?
I don't think so. I don't know. Speaking of cameras on something.
You are very good at transitions. I mean, it's impressive because I am trying to throw the line off into a part of the pond where we can just go to, and then you're like, speaking of Matt ponds. What kind of water boiling for food do you do because you like to cook?
You see, this is why I don't know that I'd ever be able to get stoned with you.
Because why?
Because
What do you count this?
I count this as
Vino.
a liver exfoliant.
So you can never get stoned with me because I like to talk about other things?
No, because the way that you transition back
Oh,
to
yeah.
something, it would be very
That's 'cause
hard for me.
I'm just thinking about myself. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a great end to a story. And here it comes. And now we've done it. Somebody better say something because I want to talk about something. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, where were we?
Well, I was going to say, have you heard about Free Britney? What's going on with Britney Spears?
No.
Okay. So,
The fact that you can transition into that, because we were talking about True Detective.
we were talking about Dan Harmon. We were talking about the
Harmon,
circles.
And now we are talking about
$5 million commercial. Yeah.
Free Britney.
Free Britney. So Britney, and this is like just starting to come up, but Britney was checked into a mental health facility in January.
How do you know this?
So there was this very silly podcast called Britney's Gram, where these two women they're comics and I know them and they're not crazy people, would go in depth about Britney's Instagram. As there are podcasts about ridiculous things, like period.
But there happened to be about Britney. She's one of the most famous people on the planet. Britney's got 75 million followers or whatever it is. And that's what they did every week.
And so with that, what they found is that Britney had stopped posting on Instagram and they were curious as to why. And they started to do some investigating. And then they got a call from a paralegal that worked at Britney's lawyer's firm.
Okay.
And
Dunham and Moorhead.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he had shared that because she still has that conservatorship.
Right.
She's my age. She's 36 years old. She's still under a conservatorship. They placed her in a mental health facility in January, even though they said that they had done it in March. And that it was that she had canceled her Las Vegas residency because her dad had gotten sick, which isn't true at all.
That's all made up.
All made up.
Her dad is not sick.
Her dad is not sick at all. So now there's an investigation that's starting to
happen.
Thank you. I was going to say
You're
unravel.
so good at transitions, and then
I forget silly words.
there's
like,
a transition that is about to
happen.
cotton candy.
So there's all this press that's coming up about it now.
So wait, so you're telling me these people have a podcast, these two comics, a paralegal from the law firm that represents Britney goes like, hey, I got some dirt.
Yeah, like I've been listening. Here's the truth. Like blah, 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 blah,
This
blah.
paralegal,
blah, blah.
this is all hinges on the paralegal?
And not just the paralegal, because Lynn Spear?
Swan, the football player from the 70s.
Exactly. Who
was on Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
Also took ballet.
And Taekwondo.
Mm-hmm.
So Britney's mom has also gotten involved, and she's like, yes, this is what's happening. Just to keep you up to date on pop culture.
Okay, so I have heard nothing about that.
Okay, so now you are hearing about it.
Well, I hope she's okay, because her kids are now 15, 16, 17.
Yeah. Nobody's even talking about
Federline
the kids.
Is not.
Like we've been doing this, I feel like about the same time. Like we came up in the 90s.
You and Britney.
No, you and I.
Oh, no. You were a movie star in the 90s. Your career started in the 90s.
Yeah.
I was on stage doing improv, and I very luckily I got on a local sketch comedy show.
Okay,
That was
but here's the thing though, right? Like,
Britney in 97, Hit Me Baby came out.
yeah, I know.
And I would say we had, including you and I, had different journeys to compare to Britney.
Yes, very, very different journeys compared to
Yeah.
Britney.
We didn't walk out on any stage and scream "Hello, Cleveland." And
But you might as a stand-up comic as well, right?
well, I scream that when I'm in Calgary.
Okay.
So you're saying we all came up together, you, me, and Britney? She was also 16.
Okay. Well, first of all,
Where are we going?
this is where we're going. We have both had the experience within this industry of how it can completely fuck people over and fuck people up.
Yeah.
Correct?
No, we've seen. Yeah. Well, yes, but I have never been on the. I've never been close to an experience where it was that white hot.
Yeah, me either.
Where you go from anonymous to you can't walk out of your home.
No.
That didn't happen to me.
No.
Although I pretend that's what happened to me. Yeah. I mean, when I walk out, I'm, I look like a mummy.
I got you.
No, but and we weren't, I mean, you were very young when you got famous. And it sounds like you had responsible parents that took care of you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a real confirmation.
Yeah, for sure. But let's move on from that.
But we didn't have. It wasn't like all of China knew who we were.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But the reason that I bring it up, and that interesting is definitely the wrong word.
Well, I would agree with what you said in that there are people that have been screwed by the business, and there are people that have obviously done very well in the business. But there's so many. The recipe for each person is always different. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's case by
100%.
case, and it's timing and all those things. And so, yeah, I mean, if you're a 16-year-old woman in the 90s, and you become one of the biggest stars on the planet for decades, it's gonna be crazy.
Yes.
So I have not allowed you to speak,
And
I'm not going to. So I shall not continue. No, go ahead. Sorry, I'm horrible.
You're perfect, and I do adore you.
God
That
bless
is
you.
true.
See, Irish twins, guys.
It's true.
Irish twins.
It's true.
You just happen to be much younger. All right. So, but you're saying with Britney.
So I was asking you about Britney, because not a lot of people have heard about it, and B, based upon the fact that getting a gauge of what this industry can do to anybody, right?
Mhm.
And then how easy it is, I think, for people within our industry to it becomes almost like
Shit on?
it becomes almost like an in memoriam while they're still living.
Yeah, I would agree. But you could, yes. It really shows the horrible side of human nature where people like to punch down and people like, but you hosted the soup. And I hear you, but those were, we made a lot of fun of reality shows, and we made fun of people that were agreeing to be on camera and were being paid. And in cases of like the real world and the surreal life and all those things, these are people that the chaos they were bringing on their own. I mean, yes, they obviously had issues, but they were, we were saying, this is bad behavior that you need to.
Yes.
But with because Britney did have a meltdown when she had shaved her head, and she attacked the car with the umbrella. And I don't know if you remember, but a lot of late
No,
night
I
talk
remember.
show, it
I
began to go.
remember.
People were like, "It's a funny thing," and then people were like, "Wait a minute, we
isn't
should all
funny."
pull back," and everybody pulled back, and thankfully, she seemed to have gotten treatment, and it got better for her. But there's no doubt that this is it is cruel, and people want people. I think people want people to fail mostly because they're probably wish it was them or jealous or something. But it's a weird human nature thing that I don't really get. But you sound fine, and I hope you don't have the measles. That is. But yeah, so the hashtag is free Britney.
The hashtag is free Britney.
And the thing is, they want Britney out of the.
They want Britney out of the mental institution, and they want her to no longer have that conservatorship, because that also goes to, let's say that Britney desires to hire her own lawyer.
Right.
She can't hire her own lawyer. It's up to a judge, because Britney, while she's under the conservatorship,
What?
they say that she's not mentally fit.
I feel like there needs to be way more information gathered.
Oh, I'm not doing this a service at all. I'm not.
Because she's had the conservatorship since the time.
2007.
And
So that's 12 years.
and it has gone well for most of that time, right? I mean, she had she was in Vegas for years,
No, she had to stop the Vegas residency.
but things were going
Things
well
were-
after, like
Things
she
were
got-
going well, but she had gotten photographed driving a car, which was a big no-no under her conservatorship.
I just like trying to watch you say conservatorship,
For fuck's sakes.
and then you became Scottish. Can I get you a glass of water?
Maybe, perhaps.
So you feel that the conservatorship should be ended, and she can make her own choices. But because do you feel that she's being held against her will?
Yes, that's the whole entire thing with Free Britney. Is that
the paralegals got on this podcast and went, "Hey, she is trapped."
just do me a favor for shits and giggles.
Mhm.
When you go home later tonight?
I'm not going home tonight.
Okay. Well,
I'm driving all the way to Ensenada.
Are you really?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. See, and this is son of a bitch. Goddamn son of a bitch.
That's one of my favorite things. Nathaniel Radcliffe. It's one of my favorites. Okay.
I love how you deflect.
Mm.
And you're
You should see what it's like to have dinner with the McHales.
do you consider yourself a Scorpio or a Sagittarius? Because you're born November 20th.
I don't care about any of that shit.
No.
No, I
Never have?
I don't understand it. I don't have any.
Really?
No. Well,
you were raised Catholic like me.
yes,
So filled with guilt and shame.
I got rid of the guilt.
Okay, but the shame?
Yeah. No, but first of all, with Britney,
Yeah.
because I have not talked about Britney Spears this much since the soup. So, are we bordering on conspiracy that she is trapped?
We're not. Because that's her mother. Her fucking mother.
Right. Now, and her mother and father, are they still married?
No.
They're not. And who's
No.
the dad was in
dad's
charge?
the one that has sole control over everything.
And are you saying her dad is he is doing it out of he is not a good man, that is a nefarious
Listen, I'm not saying any of the above because I'm not going to get sued for slander and libel.
I don't think you definitely aren't.
All I'm going to say is this.
But that guy will be.
Yes, that is true.
Okay.
He's always been a troublemaker.
So
It's
it
true.
just sounds like she obviously has some issues that have to be dealt with. You don't know?
Yes, and also
You can edit this all out later.
You totally fucking can.
You think that she needs to have control of her own life and be able to hire her own lawyers.
Okay.
Do you think that she is capable of that?
Okay. Well, first of all,
We'll get back to this astrology stuff in a second.
oh, okay. Listen, now this is starting to turn into like a Law and Order episode.
Not really.
Dun. But all I'm saying is this: do me a favor and just check out
Free Britney.
Just check out Free Britney. Just look at it.
Okay. Now, you do sound a little bit like just check out
Just check it out.
hashtag flat earth and you'll see.
Okay.
You'll see. You'll see that Kyrie Irving is making some pretty good points.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the truth. I
All right.
normally don't subscribe to
Conspiracies? But if you want to read a good book, it's called Conspiracy.
okay.
It's about the takedown of Gawker. It's pretty remarkable. The whole Hulk Hogan thing.
Yeah.
It really is an incredible book.
Okay. I will
Okay.
read it because I do love to read.
You'll be very happy. Did you read Bad Blood?
No.
Oh, the Elizabeth Holmes story?
No.
You'll
No.
love it.
Really?
About Theranos and all that.
Okay.
Okay, so we got off track. So I said, is this a conspiracy theory?
I
And
said
then you said,
no. It's
no,
not.
it's just-
It's not.
Okay.
It's not. And I say that if I had had the success that Britney had
Mhm.
had,
Like, Welcome to the Dollhouse became Jaws.
yes. I
Right.
mean, I don't even know what the equivalent would be. Let's
I
say
felt
Jaws.
like that was a pretty good equivalent.
Okay.
Okay. But even then, it's actually not close to
yeah,
being
it's
a pop
it's
star.
it's not at all.
Okay.
You know, and you think of what
Go ahead. You think of what? What?
oh, you're such a fucking asshole and I love you. I fucking adore you, dude.
God bless you. Again, you know that our ancestors 500 years ago, our families were like, I have some potatoes, I have some cabbage, shall we all get together tonight? Yes.
Yeah, and kill a cow.
You look like every single person my dad grew up with from Chicago.
Do you know what's crazy? Is that I have family in Chicago. I have birth family in Chicago.
I know a woman named Kathy Kelly, and you guys could be brother and sister. The Kellys, you would just, we went to their house they lived in Evanston. If you just slipped into a dinner, no one would even question your presence. They would just be like, there you go, Heather. And we would, yeah.
For fuck's sakes.
At
Here's
some
the
point,
thing.
we'll talk about my Norwegian side later. So,
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Is that if I had had that success, I don't know what would have happened to me
Mhm.
as an individual
Mhm.
in terms of when you are considered a commodity and the second you desire to step out and become an individual and that then gets stripped from you because, oh, nope, you're not doing what I want. You're not staying in line.
Well, I think you can also, again, this is an individual case-by-case thing, and the
Yes.
recipe is different. Because you look
Yeah.
at someone like Taylor Swift,
Yes.
who got famous around the same age,
Yeah.
seems to have it together pretty well, right? I mean, she seems to be in control of her fortune and control of her business. You could also make the same case for Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
And they
Except for Donut Gate.
except for Donut Gate, which if Donut Gate is the biggest gate you've got, things are okay.
But then you know what? I mean, I'm not even going to say that because that's just shitty. I'm not even going to say it.
About Donut Gate?
No, not
Oh.
about Donut Gate.
No, I'm just saying that the combination. It starts when you're an infant, practically, about how were you raised and
Dude,
how would
I
all that-
know.
And I'm not, and believe me, I'm not saying that Britney was poorly raised at all. I swear. I'm saying there's 1,000 other ingredients to this recipe that.
Dude, I'm very clearly
Oh,
aware.
all right. I'm more about the audience going, no, I'm kidding. So
just check out just check it out.
all right.
Just check it out. And I don't say it blithely or lightly,
Okay.
you know, and I trust the two people that are there.
But you know what I will say? What
Talk to me.
probably is why Britney is in the way she is
Mhm.
because of fluoride being put into our water.
Yeah. It calcifies the pineal gland or a pineal gland, depending on which school.
Pineal.
Pineal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I grew up in Southern Oregon.
Okay.
I didn't. So, astrology. Do you consider yourself more of a Pisces or a Cancer?
Definitely Cancer on the. I just gave up halfway through that joke.
You did, and it's really good.
I just gave up. No, because my birthday's November 10th.
Mm.
And I have a thing with
You follow
dates
astrology.
and numbers.
You
I do.
you get readings and all that.
I haven't gotten an astrology reading in
2 or 3 days.
Exactly. 2 or 3
You're
hours.
too busy.
Right before I came here. I was like, okay, let me check the chart.
Look at your runes.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Did I roll a 6? Did I roll an
Yeah.
8? Was it a hard 8? Was it a soft 8?
Yeah,
What's
I mean,
happening?
What's the difference between a soft 8 and a hard 8?
I don't fucking know. I was just riffing.
Okay.
So you don't believe in astrology at all?
No.
Do you believe that Christ died for your sins?
Yes.
Do you believe that the devil is in the details?
Yeah, but that is true. Because when you're building a bridge, you better get those details ironed out right. Look at the 737 MAX.
Unless you're laundering money and you really don't want the bridge to succeed.
Now we're talking about different things. If you're laundering money, you don't care whether the bridge succeeds or not.
Exactly.
Mostly you're like, I hope the bridge succeeds. Doesn't matter to me. I'll be long gone with the money. But if you are an architect who is building the bridge, all you do is care about those things. No, here's the thing with astrology. This is what did the thing for me.
Talk to me.
In high school,
Yeah.
back in
1894.
Ooh, how dare you? That was graduate school.
97? Sorry.
Yeah, 97. When did you graduate from high school?
2000. We are the smoke-free class of 2000.
Wow. So
I
that should
never
be sung
was.
like this. We okay. I was talking to a gal at a party.
Uh-huh.
She was attractive, and it was going well.
Mm-hmm.
It's way back when, and astrology came up, and she was like, "Well, what month were you?" I was like, "What sign? Basically, what sign are you?" And I was like, "Guess."
That's what I say normally.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she then proceeded to guess every single sign, except for the one I was.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that long guessing game, she was like, "Oh, I've guessed every one." And I was like, "No, you haven't." She's like, "I've said every one." I was like, "No, you haven't." She goes, "Which one have I not said?" And I was like, "Scorpio." And she goes, oh, "Totally." And I was like, "That's right." Because it all, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like, yeah, okay, because I always heard that the arguments of like you can apply anything to any of them if you look at and look, if it's helpful,
Mm-hmm.
great. But I just don't have time for it.
I got you. I understand.
But do you
that.
get readings and you're like, that's it? I'm gonna go buy that big sweater.
Exactly. And then I don't wear that big sweater, and then I look at it in my closet a year later, and I'm like, why did I get this sweater?
And then when the unexpected freeze comes through town
Uh-huh.
January 9th, you're like, that's why I got that sweater.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Exactly. So
Does your wife believe in that?
she has been uh, our
That's a no. That's a big no.
no, that's not true.
She just goes, you go do your little thing.
No, she's into it. And here's a ooh, that was some weird kind of hat trick.
That
minus
was
the hat.
impressive.
Thanks.
That was
Cup.
like putting an English on a cue ball. You smacked down and went, okay.
I've always been very open and also very skeptical.
Okay.
That's
That's a very good way to be.
yeah, and so with that, do I believe that there is something to the fact that, I mean, for fuck's sake, the moon.
I believe there is something to the moon.
It
It's
can
a
affect
large ball.
but it can affect a single glass of water. So imagine, and our bodies are.
Our bodies are 115% water.
I thought they were 115% wine.
Right now they are.
That's true.
Yeah.
About to be 120.
See, yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to that.
So she doesn't believe it.
Mm-mm. Mm-hmm.
Right now she's going to be listening going like, fucking hey, Heather, I don't believe it. So why are you? Okay.
No, again, I don't want to speak for my wife in that way. I will say this, is that she's as open, if she's as open as I am. I'm just open. I don't look at my horoscope every day and I'm like, oh my God, what's my day going to be like? Oh my God, they tell me it's going to be a bad day. God, I'm not going to leave my house.
Is that how you talk when you're
Exactly how I talk.
possibly going to have a bad day?
Oh my God, I'm going to have a bad day.
I like that.
Yeah. So, but there
You
is.
sound like a theater agent in New York in 1972. Oh, you're going to be great in this. It's just cats.
It's just cats.
I had a friend who saw cats recently. Recently, she saw cats, and she was like, she literally was like, I could not figure out what was going on.
If I never see Cats in my life, the musical, it won't be too soon.
My favorite move back in 2000, I could read the thing when Cats was going to close at the Winter Garden in New York. I even know it was the Winter Garden, even though I never saw it. It was like, it's going to close. And then when it started closing, it started selling out again. And then like, it's going to stay open. And then people were like, oh, no. No. And then it immediately closed.
I remember being a kid and there was an Italian woman that my music teacher had brought in. And I remember thinking she was very beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It was Sophia Loren.
It most certainly was not the niece of Stalin.
Conspiracy theorist.
She's literally the niece of Stalin.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Welcome to your history lesson.
Wow. 1 second. Go ahead. Go ahead. No. All right. So niece of Stalin.
I'm like, Google it, and just see, literally.
I want the voice who is like, this is what my day is going to be like, and then the Google it person to have a conversation. That's what's going to happen right now. Oh, my day. I can't believe it. No, it's going to be awful. Google it. Just Google it. Your day's going to be great. No, it's going to be terrible. You do it so much better than me. Cats. Italian lady.
The Cats.
Monica
Italian,
Bellucci.
and I remember Mrs. Thomas. That was my musical. That was like the
What was
music
her first
teacher's
name?
name. Isabel? Isabella?
It's Isabel. It is Isabel. Okay.
And I just remember Mrs. Thomas playing Memories on the piano.
Mm-hmm.
And this beautiful Italian woman singing, and me still hating the song. Like Memories, da da da, in the moonlight, da 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 da.
You sure know the tune.
It just
Even Barbara's version?
Barbara Streisand is canceled.
Well, I guess this is where the
Is this really? Because, I mean, man,
interview-
here's the thing. Barbara Streisand growing up for me was like, yes, Barbara Streisand, Judy Garland, Liza Minnelli, Betty Davis.
right, Megadeth, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Guar,
Exactly. If all
Insane Clown Posse.
and
Yeah.
Korn, let's not forget,
I have not forgot Corn.
with a K.
What are you talking about? I'm just talking about loving corn. It's my favorite vegetable.
You know who else loved Korn?
Yes,
Who?
Stalin's niece.
And goddamn, fuck, was it Ethel Merman?
Ethel Merman loved corn.
Isn't that I think it was Ethel Merman.
An airplane? Yes.
But there's that story where it's like Ethel Merman is in the bathroom, like taking
I have no idea what you're talking about.
yeah, there's this what is it? Not like an old wives' tale, but legend has it.
Here's a third voice. Oh no, this day is going right. No, legend has it. This day will be incredible.
Legend has it that Ethel Merman was in a bathroom stall taking a dump. And she says, corn? I don't remember having corn.
How do you know this?
I mean, it's one of those stories that's gone around the fucking block.
Have you heard this story before?
Listen, he's a fetus.
I know. What are you, 23?
24. I just found out 2 minutes
24?
before you walked
You're 24
in.
years old and this is your job already? Good for him.
Right? I laughed when
Good
he
for
said he
you,
was
man.
24.
24.
Because I was like, oh, the things I thought I knew at 24, the things that I think I know at 36.
Just wait till you reach 47.
I mean, that's if I make it that long.
What are your plans? Are you going into base jumping?
Well, my birth mom died at 53.
Yeah, but she didn't have a good doctor. She had a pretty rough lifestyle, is my guess. Smoker?
Yeah.
It wasn't.
But my dad
You
also,
sound good.
but my birth dad
I like
died
how
at 61.
He died at 61
Yeah.
of.
He had been a digger for the subway tunnels of New York.
And so toxic stuff.
So, yeah.
So you didn't do that.
No, I didn't. I didn't do that.
I imagine you haven't eaten anything unorganic in decades, except once in a while
Are you serious?
splurge and go to
Are you kidding?
Carney's.
Are you
have a
serious
hot
or are you
dog.
kidding?
I don't know.
Do you know what? I had McDonald's French fries 2 nights ago.
That's your I can't help myself. I'm going to McDonald's.
No.
for French fries.
That's not it. If I can't help myself and I'm going to McDonald's, I will end
When was
up.
the last time you went to McDonald's for lunch?
Oh, God. I would say a month ago.
You're like, guys, we're going to lunch. We're going to McDonald's.
Yeah, I'll either get a number 9, which is a 2 cheeseburger meal, or I will get a double pounder, a
Look at
quarter
you.
pounder.
Okay, this is another voice.
with
Because, and
cheese.
now nobody believes you because you said double pounder. I know I had a
No,
number
but
8, a double pounder.
But it's that.
And then I had a 6, which is a filet on fish.
But it's the double
And
quarter
then
pounder.
I had a happiest meal.
Listen, it's the double quarter pounder with cheese meal. And the thing that I don't like about it is the fact that
How good was the double pounder?
better than a triple.
Okay. So you're saying
I'm
look,
saying that
look, McDonald's, I just like anything in moderation is fine,
yes.
except for heroin and methamphetamine.
Yes.
Yes?
That is
Have you done methamphetamine in moderation?
Well, like I take Adderall for my ADD.
That is not methamphetamine.
Yes, it is. It's literally technically it's an amphetamine.
Yes, but if you take photographs of people who take Adderall before they take Adderall, and then 5 years later, after a doctor prescribed and regimented plan, they don't look like scabby Mick crazy from their brains melting.
See, yes.
How much rat poison is in Adderall?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, go zero. It's zero.
Well,
it's zero.
Well, here's a good question.
How many Adderall labs have exploded in the last few years?
27.
That's, you're just making this shit up. What's a 27 at McDonald's? Oh, I love the 27. It's a big mark and a double and a lime shake.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. But speaking of drugs.
We were talking about something else.
No, I know. We were, but this is how the segues happen.
Okay. Drugs. Yeah, I'm on Propecia. It's true.
Hey, are you a weed smoker?
I am not.
You are not.
No.
Why? Catholic guilt?
What? No, I ask any of my friends, I really prefer drinking.
Yeah.
Even though it's way more caloric. I mean, it's literally 100% more caloric. I really like, I enjoy, I just didn't get on the train. And I can't really explain it. Even though it's legal here and in my home state of Washington that I haven't lived in for almost 20 years. But no, I guess I have a lot of friends that were wake and bakes, and I was like, well, that's something I can't do.
Yeah.
And because it creeps up in you, but you can make the exact same argument for drinking, obviously, since people have a lot of issues with it, and so, it's same. It's probably the same, but I know I have a lot of friends like, oh man, if I had to choose, definitely weed over booze. But then I was like, yeah, but you'd never be able to taste the peat in the scotch because it's really wonderful.
Taste the peat.
Yeah, you couldn't taste the
oaks.
Yeah, no, you couldn't taste
the woody oaks.
The Alicante, the Spanish wine made by an Australian man.
Striga. Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
The fancy wine?
No, it's pronounced double.
Well, I need to let everyone know this.
So you like the weed better than the booze, is what you're saying.
Here's the truth. When it comes to weed, I'm very grateful for what it's done for me.
Okay.
It has.
And the booze didn't do the same thing.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm half Irish. You're 100%. So it really shows you that if you just have a little bit of Norwegian in you, it's enough to.
Oh, we'll be well, and you'll bypass alcoholism.
Yeah. So you appreciate what it's done for you.
I really, really do. And here's the thing: is that I hadn't smoked weed since I was 19, and I started again when I was 34.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that I had the experience of being paranoid while I was smoking weed.
So it's fun. It's a fun experience.
It's a blast. But what I found was really helpful was that it's allowed me to recognize the fears that arise within me a lot quicker. And
do you have a lot of fears?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a counselor to talk about these fears with? Do you have a therapist?
I had a therapist for a really long time. And
it didn't help.
No, it helped quite a bit, but for fuck's sakes, Joe McHale,
do you think the weed helped you more than the therapist?
I think that I would not have been able to utilize weed as a and I and you might laugh and like
I'm not going to
whatever.
laugh.
Well, I don't know. I really do consider it a medicine in this way. My anxiety can be through the roof. Like
You have panic attacks.
I have anxiety attacks,
All right.
which are different than panic attacks.
Okay.
The anxiety attacks are slower with the come on,
Mm-hmm.
and it normally starts at my sternum, and I slowly start to feel like there is a pressure that is slowly building in my chest that's rising through my throat into my face, and I can't breathe
Oh my gosh.
at all.
That must be awful.
Yeah, it sucks. And so it's like trying to suck air through a cement straw.
And the therapist did help with.
So the therapist had helped quite a bit, and there's like so many different parts to this. Nothing is necessarily linear. It's almost like a wide mosaic where it's not just the therapy, it's not just the weed, it's not just this, it's not just that. It's a bunch of things. So it's writing, it's meditation, it's weed, it's therapy, it's getting to have a few people within my circle that I consider sacred relationships that I can speak freely and honestly with.
Me?
Yes, you are one of those people.
We speak every 4 years. Okay, so it's a combination. It's a
Yeah, it's a combination of things, and I found that I have benefited greatly from the medicinal properties of marijuana,
Okay.
and I don't take it lightly.
Right.
And I there's this great organization called MAPS, which focuses on the healing benefits of psychedelics and hallucinogens and entheogens, and deals with people that are either suffering through PTSD due to war, due to sexual trauma, due to childhood trauma, whatever it is, and getting to see those benefits. So I take my relationship with weed. I don't just wake and bake just for the sake of, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
in a very roundabout way. I'm not like,
I
hey
hear it.
man, let's just get stoned and like have some fun, which is great, which is fine. Anybody who's smoking right now, great.
No.
How about it?
I more liken it to the people that with booze the same way that they go, oh, I can't face the day
without
this.
versus
Yeah. Now,
this adds to my day.
yeah, it just like if you're having an eye opener, if you're waking up with a vodka and orange juice, you need to probably go deal with some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not, I don't use it as an escape.
Right.
Like I'm not like, oh my God, I've had a hard day.
Right.
Let me just smoke some weed.
Again, this family of voices would be a really good Netflix show.
Well, I receive that, and considering that they're kings of the world right now and they're a freight train, hopefully I then get to become a traveling hobo and hop that freight train.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so that all makes good sense. So in conclusion
Of this,
you're 36, 35?
Yeah, 36.
36. So
Yeah.
all right.
I'm old.
Yeah, okay. 24, right?
24. And that's the thing. It's like, and and this is literally the
You
first.
can be my son.
This is,
And I'm a decent age, like an age my parents were when I had me.
yeah. It's trippy, and it goes back full circle. No
Mhm.
such thing as time. You know, it in regards to, I'm continually surprised by what I get to learn by people that are younger than me. And I also laugh sometimes at what I hear come out of people's mouths that are in their 20s,
Mm-hmm.
i.e., just, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing right now. And like, it's like, ha, 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 I'm 36 and I'm still trying to figure that out. You know, the older I get, and I know I'm still very young, but the more that I get to experience life, the more I recognize that I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing.
Look, when Akira Kurosawa, what happened? When Akira Kurosawa, the Japanese filmmaker,
Yes.
when he received his lifetime Oscar award thing,
Yeah.
and this is now 20 years ago, when he was 90 something, he said he had so much to learn from these young filmmakers.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the right attitude.
It's true because I'm very aware that there are generational blind spots, and I recognize that I have blind spots within self where I like, and this sounds like so fucked up, and I immediately, are you a Game of Thrones fan? Are you watching Game of Thrones?
Well, okay, so I haven't watched the newest season at all, but I watched the first new episode of Barry, and so I'm also 2 episodes behind on that. But I was traveling and I was a little busy, so I haven't been able to catch up. So if you say anything, you're going through that window.
Okay, that's fair. So, but you are a Game of Thrones fan.
I am, but I
Okay.
am also hyper aware that there was a couple of seasons there that, like even the Red Wedding season,
Oh,
which was pretty average
Yeah.
until the Red Wedding, where I was like, are we getting to some good episodes here? Because I'm almost out. And then I'm like, yeah, you did it, guys. I'm back in.
Yeah.
I love it. It's
just
great.
when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
So I'm assuming these episodes must be,
I mean, it's.
I mean, they can't not, I mean, this is an entire season that is Marvel's Endgame. They have to, there's so many things that have to be tied up.
And speaking of Marvel's Endgame,
Yeah.
you are going to be in Stargirl, are you not?
Yes, which has nothing to do with Marvel's Endgame.
No, I know, but it has to do with superheroes,
Yes.
for lack of a better term. And I'm like, that's my segue without even meaning to segue, because I do want to talk about
that seemed like a pretty calculated segue.
And I don't even have notes in front of me.
She has no notes. Could you do that, 24-year-old? No. He's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm looking at eBay right now. Got my eye on this boat. Yes, I wore tights. I wear tights in it. You should see it. I have pictures, but I can't show them on camera, guys, because it's a secret. Yeah, no, I'm barely in it. I play, I'm not gonna say much, but Stargirl, I play Starman.
Okay.
And Stargirl and I are directly linked through over the years.
The Cosmos?
Through the Cosmos.
Through Stardust?
Yeah. The Stargirl is played by this 19-year-old who works harder than anybody I've ever seen. I don't know how she's doing it, because she must get
Methamphetamines?
just methamphetamine, not the different flavors. What are flavors of methamphetamines do you have? Oh, I have a mint, hazelnut.
Orange,
Oh,
Julius.
the orange is really good.
The orange Julius methamphetamine. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Hold on.
Mm.
It's not late. It's actually not bad.
No, it's not.
No, yes, it was always a dream of mine to play like a superhero guy. And so they offered it to me, and I was like, absolutely. I'll do it for free. It's so much fun.
Did you do it for free?
No. Luke Wilson, most of my scenes are with him. So he's as dreamy as you can imagine.
The lesser half of Owen.
No. Owen is lucky to have a brother as cute as he is, because everyone wants to talk to Luke. Luke's dreamy.
Yeah.
And then Amy Smart's in it.
Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm a fan of Amy Smart.
She's great. She seemed really cool. I mean, we did a big table read, but none of my, I don't think going back in July, so then I'll find out what I'm doing.
Okay.
But, It's just like Chris Evans.
Exactly like Chris Evans.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot. Yeah. Similar.
Chris Evans meets Chris Pine.
Yeah. Chris Evans has been doing Captain America for the last decade, and I've been doing Starman for almost a month now.
Yeah.
Both being shot in Atlanta. So there's that.
There is that.
24-year-old guy's like, okay.
The shitty Atlanta.
Are you going to see the Marvel movie? Are you excited for Endgame? Well, you won't be lost at all. This will be fine. You'll be like, what the? Okay.
I don't follow any of them either. I don't
You don't like
care.
those movies?
I don't care. I don't.
What's the last movie you saw in a theater?
Oh my God. And it was so recent too. For fuck's sakes. Oh, just saw the Emily, the movie Molly Shannon, who was playing Emily Dickinson.
Okay.
My Wild Night with Emily, or something. I know it sounds like a porn. But Molly Shannon was playing Emily Dickinson, and it's about how
Right.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Mm.
Wow, you're like, it's a...
Well, here's the truth. Molly Shannon, I am so thankful and grateful and excited that she is getting to be given space to demonstrate her brilliance as an actor and a performer that isn't just centered around like a skit on Saturday night.
All right. Yeah.
And I recognize and understand that the film had budgetary constraints and that it was low budget. My very finicky Barbara Streisand-esque, to make it mini full circle, where I'm like,
Let's call it a callback.
just call back whatevs.
Okay.
I'm looking at the blinds and I'm like, that is not accurate of the time period. Why are you doing a movie where you are using blinds that clearly were invented in the 90s?
All right. So this voice is great. But this voice, I can see how this voice will be the enemy. Will be our antagonist in the movie of all your voices.
Well, listen, here's the thing. It literally, I feel, is the voice. It's the owl in the Winnie
So
the
you
Pooh.
felt that they did not honor the period enough.
Well, here, for fuck's sakes, you just need to see it for yourself to like recognize and understand. Yes, I understand that they were trying to do what The Favorite did, but on a much more constrained budget. I get that. I understand that. Whatevs.
What is the last movie you saw that you thought that was near perfect? The Meg, about the big shark.
Right. Exactly.
Suicide Squad.
No, I'm trying to, won't you be my neighbor?
That's a documentary.
I know, but it's still a film. Are you talking about narrative feature?
Yes. I'll wait.
You're such a dick.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes, I am.
To be
Take your time. Toy Story?
the truth is like I don't know.
Wally.
Wally was great.
Molly was great.
Wally was really, really great. The truth is that I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember.
What's your second favorite movie?
Of all time? Or
No, of 2009.
2009?
Yeah, of all time.
After
Give me a
God.
top 10 film in your top 20, anything.
Okay, The Hours. The Hours is probably my favorite movie of all time.
Oh. All right. Very, very interesting.
Why?
Something you never hear.
Why?
Nicole Kidman's greatest performance.
Ed Harris.
Yeah.
I mean, that scene.
Next to Milk Money.
Do you know what?
Hold on, there's a plane coming
There.
because they hit the building.
Hold
Do you know what?
Hold the roll.
Do you know
Hold the
what?
roll.
Do you know what?
My wife has a bit about milk money.
Do I know that? I did not know that.
No, you didn't know that. So it's just very ironic that you brought it up. But man, fucking Ed Harris's performance in The Hours when he's getting there,
It's rough and wonderful.
but it's absolutely fucking perfect
It's
because
perfect.
it is free and it is uninhibited and there is no fucking ego at all in his performance. Cut to Tom fucking Cruise and Magnolia, fucking whack a dick.
We're going to disagree because Tom Cruise's performance in Magnolia is my favorite thing about that movie.
Even when he's visiting his dying father?
Because in that movie, he's playing that narcissist perfectly. I could watch an entire movie of that character.
Really? I just,
It's interesting that you pulled that comparison out to say, as good as Ed Harris was, this is how you feel about Tom Cruise's performance in a different movie.
well, partially it's because I taught at a college for a year.
What? Are you trying to high road me right now?
No,
All right, go ahead.
I taught
What
at
college? If you say a barber college, then this is over.
a barber at college.
All right. There's no such thing.
There's now. But I remember just comparing those two performances. Ed Harris, because they're both dealing with
Mhm. But they're both dealing with similar issues, but Tom Cruise is playing a motivational speaker, empowerment, prosperity.
But if you take a second just to look at those two scenes
I have.
side by side.
Before we did this tonight, I was watching both those movies.
Okay, well then you're just a dumbass.
Because I love movies watching side by side. Yeah.
Just you can see, here's the thing. I could imagine Tom Cruise on the set of Magnolia before he's getting ready to do that scene. And he's like, and the AD's like, all right, everybody, quiet. Quiet on set. Quiet.
Really loud.
Sorry. But, oh, we got an actor. Just quiet.
You have a big backstory to this performance.
I do, because you know why? It is so full of shit.
Wow.
It is a performance. That fucking scene, he is so full of shit. He is so dishonest in his performance. I don't care. You can cry. You can be a professional crier. You can be a professional crying actor. But if you don't have the actual heart and the fucking guts.
Do you feel this way about most Tom Cruise performances?
No, because I don't really think of Tom Cruise at all.
Well, I think we're getting to the bigger issue.
Which is?
You're not a Tom Cruise fan.
It's not a question. Listen, Risky Business, Born on the 4th of July.
Okay.
I would say
Vanilla Sky. Oblivion.
Vanilla Sky.
No, I'm just saying these things. Okay. All right. Clearly, you are not a Tom Cruise fan.
It's not a question of me being a Tom Cruise fan or not. I was a Tom Cruise fan.
The Last Samurai. Did you see that?
Oh yes, because I love whitewashing fucking Asian culture.
But so you're not a fan? Wow. You don't throw these names out as jokes, right? Oh no. So look,
Scientology is already getting to me.
see?
They're choking me to death.
Listen, so we were talking about the hours. We're talking about, wow, you really choked.
I did.
That was one of those, yeah. So I agree. Sam Harris is
A wonderful singer.
Harrison Ford. No, Ed Harris's performance is spellbinding, and it's unbelievable. But you could yes, all that. I mean, That's why that movie is so damn good.
And it's so nuanced. And that's the thing, is that I called your performance in Assassination Nation nuanced.
God bless you.
And it's fucking true. Because there's no showmanship. None of it's showy. People in life aren't necessarily showy. The less they show, I feel, the more they actually say. Right? And so when I look at a performance from Tom Cruise in a film like Magnolia, which let's also remember was being hailed as like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Holy shit, it's incredible. Tom Cruise is amazing. And I'm like, what?
I need you to put this voice into the movie as well.
Like, maybe it's amazing for Tom Cruise and not, because have we forgotten his performances from like the fucking like 80s into the early 90s before he made that switch and he almost became a caricature of himself. I'm never going to be working in a Tom Cruise film, as it turns out.
Maybe now you definitely will be, because he has to prove something to you.
Yeah. I'll be like, listen, Mr. Cruise.
He's like, you're playing my wife.
I mean, I am a brunette with blue eyes.
But speaking of, your hair, I've never seen so much. It's...
On my face?
How dare you? I prayed for hair like this. Your hair would be great. How often do you cut it? Like once every 2 days?
No, I haven't cut my hair in over a year.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. I don't think of upkeep in that way.
Second favorite movie.
Meet Me in St. Louis.
Wow. You are...
I'm a conundrum wrapped inside an enigma.
What is the... Well, I guess The Hours is pretty big release. Do you like any... What's your favorite blockbuster? What's your favorite sort of summer movie? I guess we're going by category now.
My favorite summer movie.
You're going to be like, oh, yeah. Totally.
I have no idea. I don't know.
You're like, my favorite summer movie? Shortcuts with Julianne Moore.
Or slapstick.
Slapstick?
Slapstick, or what was that movie with Paul Newman?
The Verdict?
No, Slap Shots.
Slapshot.
Slapshot.
Yeah, the greatest movie about hockey in history. It's the greatest hockey movie.
Are you surprised I know that?
Yes and no.
And no.
No, because you said The Hours and then Meet Me in St. Louis. So it could be now for that. It's all over the map.
I mean, and that's that because let me ask you this.
No, because you could be, because if you were asked like, what's your favorite scary movie? I mean, for
my childhood.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I could see. No, because then you'd be like, oh, Mean Girls. That's the scary one. Or you would say something like, I don't know, Closet Land or something like way just no one knows about.
Yeah. I would probably say mine would be Us.
That's your scary movie.
Yeah.
Did you see Paranormal Activity?
I did.
The first one?
I did.
Masterpiece.
Yes. I hope those actors got paid well. I hope they got good back end.
I met the woman and several times. Daisy. Oh, I'm going to be in real trouble if I don't remember her name. She's delightful. The guy I met once, they came on the soup years ago.
What is your favorite summer blockbuster and what is your favorite movie of all time?
That's hard to say. I think if I said if this movie, if it comes on, I don't turn it off, and it's a summer movie, it's probably Back to the Future.
Yes.
Flawless.
Even though you hate the idea of no
Time
such
travel?
thing as time.
Whoever said that? Oh. Well, absolutely. There is an idea of time if you can have time travel because you need time to travel through it.
But again, then what are you traveling through?
Time. So again, I win this round. No. So there's that movie. Favorite movie of all time is hard to say. That's when I go like, I got to put things in
second one.
categories. I can tell you a movie that I get very excited to talk about every time it comes up is the movie Green Room with Patrick Stewart. That movie is unbelievable.
Green Room.
Yeah. If you're okay with violence, then you should go home and watch that movie.
Okay. All I got as soon as you said that, I kid you not, was just an image of Joe Pesci shoving that pen inside the neck
No.
of that other dude in Casino.
Yeah, this is way worse.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah, I have friends that had to shut it off, but it's not that. It's not about the violence, but yeah.
Okay, I'll see Green Room, and I'll let you know.
I mean, Blade Runner was my favorite movie for many, 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 many years. And I remember in second grade when my parents rented a VCR, and we rented Romancing the Stone and Blade Runner. And boy, those are the ones I'm trying to make like Red Sonja or something like that. Megaforce, Red Dawn. These are the movies that were being rented at the time.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a VCR. And I remember my brother was having his birthday party, and I just sat there watching Blade Runner over and over again. It probably wasn't appropriate for a second grader, but I remember going like, this is a whole world in this little screen here.
Yeah.
I love, I love the Suicide Squad, as I said. No, I'm kidding. Doctor Strangelove is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
I can't watch that enough.
Really?
It is great. Have you watched it lately? It's
I have
a masterpiece.
not, but I do. I love Peter Sellers. I've been obsessed with Peter Sellers since I was a child. The Pink Panther series, and then being there.
Mm-hmm. But you also like, again, this is the categories thing.
Yeah.
Is that the Holy Grail is perfect and should have won every single Oscar that was available.
But then we also recognize that the Oscars are shit.
They will. It's all very.
I mean, the fact that Green Book fucking won this year.
I mean, it does show you that. I mean, I also
that racism is alive and well, and being a white savior,
that
is alive and well. And
they need to read that book, White Fragility, because it is, absolutely. But I think the Marvel movies are doing a great job. I mean, I was like Ant-Man and the Ant-Man, the sequel to Ant-Man?
Wasp.
Ant-Man and Wasp. Jeez. It was so good. I just watched it with my parents and my kids, and I was like, this is amazing. Paul Rudd is terrific. No, but we're all over the map. But
it's okay.
My friend Scott, he introduced me, Scott Derrickson, he introduced me to this movie.
Scotty Derrickson.
There you go.
Yes.
So, he introduced me to the Akira Kurosawa movie, Akuru. When I watched it, I was like, no, he's right. This movie is a masterpiece.
Yes. I'm so, Scott Derrickson is the best. Scott
How do you know Scott?
I know Scott through Zelda Williams.
Wow. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. And yes, Zelda's a wonderful person. And
the only reason I know anybody is through Twitter. Like for real.
But I met you on the movie set.
That is very true. But we stayed in touch via texting. So Twitter's got nothing to do with our relationship.
Just a little
whatsoever.
back. I mean, if anybody's still listening.
Yeah, if anybody is, and we're gonna wrap let's have this be the wrap.
Is there any? Hold on. Is there any last? It's 11:04. Are there any questions?
Jesus Christ!
You want me to?
Are you so surprised? Or are you like, oh, now I see how this goes so long?
Have you ever done this before? For her?
He's no, never for me.
Oh, this is the first one.
This is a first. And are you like, please don't let me ever have this experience again? Okay. Can we just keep this all in?
Look,
'Cause it's-
if at the end of this podcast people go, how was that? And they go, I'm fine. Then that's a win.
yeah,
It's a win.
as long as this experience didn't make you desire to kill yourself, we are
Now
we
that
are
is
good.
quite a standard. But I do think like Scott's favorite movie right up there is like Do the Right Thing, and which is incredible. When you watch it now today, it's going to be a historical document. You're going to go. Then I think like when I saw the movie Breaking the Waves, it is hard to watch. And I'll never forget the experience. And people go like a car accident? Kind of, in a way.
But here's the thing.
But that's not something I necessarily enjoyed. But then, like the what do you call it? The Mission with De Niro. There's things in that where I'm like, boy, there's just things that cannot be duplicated, and that is a film where you can't duplicate it. Certain things that they pulled off in that. It's a masterpiece. I mean, there's so yeah. Anyway, The Sixth Sense is one of the greatest movies ever made. I mean, there's so many different.
And for different reasons, and
Yeah.
it touches different aspects and whatnot.
Go watch Green Room.
I will watch Green Room.
You're not gonna like it.
I will probably end up loving it.
All right.
Because here's the thing, I love. I don't care how brutal it is. I don't care how violent it is, as long as it's honest.
Okay.
As long as the filmmaker and storyteller are honest.
But what if they're bad at filmmaking and the story sucks?
Well, let me ask you a question. Are they a
You didn't answer
man?
my question.
Are they a man or are they a woman? And are
I don't
they
know.
white
I'm
or
just-
not?
I don't know.
Okay,
That
because
should not- That should not matter.
that should not matter, and yet it does. Colin Trevorrow, whatevs.
What?
What?
I don't know what you're talking.
I don't. What? Nothing. Anyway,
People can be honest, but they can be bad filmmakers.
no shit. But here's the thing, though, right? If you do one bad movie and you're a woman,
Okay, all right. Now
you're fucked.
I agree, but we have now the conversation has changed.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about you're right. Being honest
Yes.
and is very important.
Is very important. But here's the thing, though.
But if I'm trying in a
Yeah.
vacuum, if you're bad at filmmaking and you're not, and the script isn't great, it's not going to be great. You might be very honest. There might be a couple things in there. Just like The Abyss is not the greatest big movie of all
Oh
time
my
in
God,
any
but
way.
it's one of my favorite movies.
But that scene with Ed Harris
Yeah.
is and
Mary Elizabeth
Yes.
Mastriano.
is one of the greatest scenes ever filmed in the history of film. It is perfect.
Yes.
And so, but the rest of the film, especially the ending, now James Cameron will not ever put me into a film. But he even said in an interview, he's like, oh, I learned from that film that, two people in one small area with one camera is more engaging than a lot of other things that I put in
Yeah.
that movie. But there's beautiful things in that. It's great things in that movie. But
For sure.
But so what I'm saying is that it takes a combination. Because if you look at something like, I don't know, Sex, Lies, and Videotapes, and a lot of stuff that
Yeah,
Soderbergh
Soderbergh.
did, then there's obviously the craft to it. Oh boy, the craft to it. It takes, it's like going like the person poured all this honesty into making this clay mug, and you're like, yeah, do they know how to make clay mugs?
Yeah, and that's
then there's like, no, they didn't, but they were honest about it. Then you just want a really well-made mug.
I don't fully agree in this way, right? Where at least for me, I read a script, and if I find that there's dishonesty in the script, I desire to talk to the writer to be like, let's get to the meat and potatoes.
I hear you.
And so
Yes.
there's, I know that there is a different standard when it comes to one version of truth for a filmmaker and another version of truth for another filmmaker, i.e., one has more freedom and the other is more constrained.
I couldn't agree with you more. Yes. No, if you're talking about what you said earlier about women in
Yes.
film or minorities in film, absolutely.
Yes.
And it's a terrible thing. And hopefully it is changing rapidly because there's a zillion great filmmakers that are not getting a fair shake.
Absolutely.
But our conversation was just, we were talking about you said you just need honest filmmaking.
Yeah, but
then it changed into something else, which I fully agree with what you're saying. But I am just saying, did you like Back to the Future?
I did.
Because it's fucking great.
No, absolutely. But here's the thing too, right? Like the idea of what is considered quote unquote great.
No. I'm saying what's considered great in your brain. And one of those things was the hours, and that was the first thing that came out of your mouth.
Yes.
Which means probably that was your favorite movie.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is what's going to happen. We're going to end this podcast right now.
No, this is going to go on for an hour.
And within that, will you come back?
Next weekend?
No, but will you just come back in general?
Yeah.
Yeah?
As long as you don't bring that shit wine.
Well, no, because you're sponsoring the podcast with wine, are you not?
That's a great transition.
Because you said that, did you not?
Yeah, okay, I think we learned a lot.
I think we did.
Will this
too.
be edited down or will this be just played the way it is?
But I don't know because I haven't done it before this way.
Well, how did you do it the other ways?
Honestly?
No. Lie.
Okay. Well,
how did you do it the other way?
The way that I did it previously was I booked the guest, I engineered the audio, I uploaded it, I did everything. It was literally just like a one-man band. And now I don't have to do that.
Now you have a company doing it for you.
I do. Oh, it's the stuck clap. It is the
That was not
stuck
a slow clap. That was...
No, that was... But that was the judge clap from Stuck.
Yeah.
Where it's...
I don't even remember that. Can't wait to see it. I need to see that thing.
Well, I look forward to seeing it and panning my performance.
Oh, here we go. Dear God, you are Catholic.
But listen.
Did you get confirmed?
I did. What was your confirmation name?
Billy Joe.
What was your confirmation name?
We had no confirmation.
Really?
We did not.
Fuck, we were like, you need to have a confirmation name. What's the confirmation name? And it needs.
I grew up in Western Washington. I grew up in Seattle, where they don't care about any of that stuff.
I grew up out in the fucking shit sticks of Long Island, where all they cared about was the confirmation name because you gotta get good with the fucking priests.
No, if I had a confirmation, names would be Lipschitz.
All I can think about is Chicago, and he had it coming.
He did.
He did.
Okay,
Joel.
We did it. It's always so good to see you. I feel like some sort of ancestral connection to you.
I've received that, and how about this? Let's, without microphones, you and your wife, me and my wife, let's go out to dinner.
Why don't you come over?
Yes.
I can cook.
Yes.
And since you like a steak, I'll make my Korean short ribs.
That sounds great. My wife is vegetarian. I know, but I'll bring the $2 buck chuck.
You are a good wife to stay with. You'll eat a steak though, right?
I mean, listen, she's gonna help me lower my chance of like fucking heart disease. And yes,
just take one of those statins. Take a lip.
Listen, I will eat a fucking steak. I will eat a steak.
Your poor engineer is just like, what? This? What?
Please stop.
This has become Night Shift for him. Go watch the movie Night Shift.
Oh my God, it's so
Brilliant.
good. Fucking Michael Keaton. So great.
Michael Keaton is, you could, if you, to end this whole podcast, if you could say the inspiration for me ever going to acting is Michael Keaton.
Because you knew you could do it better?
Because I couldn't do it better. I could just hope I could.
Yeah. Michael Keaton's the fucking best.
Do it better. No, it's clear from my career I have not done it better. That is true.
Mr. McHale, thank you.
Watch Card Sharks, everybody.
And watch Stuck coming out May 20th
Where's it
with
coming
me
out?
and you.
Where's it coming out?
On all VOD platforms, video on demand. So, yeah.
Did Jillian get her money back?
Oh, no.
Let's go with yes.
All right. Yes.
That's right. It's going to be huge, guys.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.